Got any video? We didn't, man. We were gonna go, but I know. Was that the game to go? We sent Rachel went. She said, "Man, those are awesome seats. They had a good one, man." And we watched it on TV. Yeah, they were pretty good. That was pretty good. We're gonna try to go Missouri game. I think it's this coming week, and then we play Vanderbilt. I think. Are we live? We good?
Yes.
We're
I can't get this internet pulled up. But
yeah. Hey, we look like play strong, man.
I can't get this to me. Must be the rain.
Well, never underestimate them. They look good. Look good. How did your Chiefs do? Did the Chiefs? I didn't watch much NFL. Did the Chiefs play? They had a bye. Did they have a bye? The Chiefs? Okay. Ooh, that's a big game. Big game. Big game.
You're not in the shot.
All right.
Hold on. You're not in the shot. No, we can see the star here. All right.
There we go.
It's really delayed.
You're not in the shot.
But
You're not in the shot.
that's fine.
Come on. Come up. Come on.
It's delayed.
Just to tweak a little bit.
Are we off air?
Hey, just move it a little bit. Hey, just move it just a little bit so you can get in.
Okay. Hold on just a second. As I try to set it back more.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're doing well on a Saturday. Thank you for joining Real Estate with Ryan. My name is Ryan Coleman, if you didn't know, along with my lovely co-host. I've got her in the background, so we got her doing a little technical work. We multitask over here, but I hope you guys are having an awesome weekend. Had a good week, and better yet, thank you for tuning in. So we've got a good show for you today. Always got some housekeeping issues and some things that we'll kind of cover before we get into some topics. Congratulations to the LaMarches on the contract they just received on Veterans Day. The reason that's so special, they're veterans, and we work really, really hard for them. So I want to give them a quick shout out and thank them for their service and thank them for getting their house in Farragut sold.
Yes.
I know it was on the market a couple months with another agent and frustrated in the process, and you know, back and forth we went, but glad to be pending.
Yes.
That's a perfect Thanksgiving present.
Some hard work on everybody's
It was.
end,
It was, but that was awesome, and it was more special that him being a veteran and on that day. So we,
Yes.
I thought that was pretty neat.
It is pretty neat.
What else? We've got a lot going on this week. We've got a lot of new inventory hitting the market. I think as we're going over the fall market, Thanksgiving will be here sooner than we know, guys. This time of this year is flying. I know a lot of my
Always.
clients were talking to one today, and they said, we're just going to wait till the holidays is over. It's the holidays almost already over. Literally, we were out there watching the Christmas trees, and you're seeing the ads, and they've got the Hallmark movies. Has it seemed like this year has really flown by?
It has for us.
And I'm sure it was everybody. But we're going to close the rest of the year out pretty strong. We've got some goals that we're working here at our office and a lot of new things that we're doing. And so it's exciting there. And
Yes.
thank you guys for listening. We got some calls over our show that we did for veterans last week that aired. Thank you guys for your service. I know we don't say it enough, all that you do to protect our country and what you've done past, present, and future.
Definitely.
I know there was, me and April jumped on Facebook and kind of did our little selfie video, but that's so important for you guys, and we don't say it enough. And thank you guys for calling, supporting us, watching the show. It means a lot.
Exactly.
So,
Definitely.
what else do we have, April? I know we've got some good news coming up.
Yes, and we want to congratulate the Healans because we put their house under contract over in Covered Bridge, and now they're buying a house that they just put under contract. It's new construction because they're pretty excited about that. So.
Hey, that was the scramble. So if you guys have ever, you know, the domino effect of buying and selling, we decided not to make their home go contingent, which means either we're going to rent something or find something. So We were scrambling in the rain and doing what every buyer does, and we're just doing a lot of shopping and understanding, and worked that deal out today. It ended today, but we worked it out yesterday. Yeah.
In pen and writing.
And so they have a brand new home for the holidays. Now that's pretty awesome. So we were excited. They were super excited. A little stressful in the process.
Yes, always.
Isn't it always stressful?
I know, but that's okay.
They were happy. So that was pretty good.
I know.
We got a good show for you today. We got some more congrats, but you guys stay tuned. As this crazy weather we're recording this show, it's just the rain is crazy.
I know.
And so we want to talk about foundations, basements, crawl space. All those things in a slab, you know, if you know about those, don't know about them. I know they come up on our inspections all the time. Nobody spends time in the crawl space.
I know.
Almost nobody. But these are things that you definitely want to check out before putting your home on the market. Things you need to know. Our good friend mold, our good friend the termite, and the radon guy, and all these different things that could come up. And if you're getting transferred, if you're getting, you know, a quick move, and the last thing we want to come up is a wet basement.
Exactly.
Crawl space or mold in the crawl space that, you know, kind of puts a chink in the armor.
Yes,
and definitely want to kind of get that. So we want to talk about that. I think it was an appropriate rainy day.
Rainy week, apparently.
Whole rainy week, and to talk about that. Couple congrats this week. I know we have some clients that are closing this week. That time this airs will probably already have closed. Mill Chase, congrats to them.
Yes.
Who else? We're just
Highview
talking.
Court, they're buying a lot in Sevierville.
Park Grove.
Park Grove's coming up.
They're closing, congrats, and we'll give them more of the official congrats next week.
And in Mohi, the Brehobs.
The Brehobs, special the Brehobs, so congrats to them.
Yes, long road for them.
Long road, long time in the market, won't bore you with that, but hey, it is talk radio, we can talk about it, right? Let's talk about it, right? It's our show, right? So, I mean, they were just sweet, sweet couple, and I think you may have heard us talk about them before, and we were talking about their process, and he bought it for his view, and really to kind of offset his view. He lived a couple doors down, and it ended up becoming a project. Well, you know us men, when we get into a project sometimes, and I'm guilty of it as well, guys, where sometimes we don't listen to our wife, right? And sometimes we start spending more money or doing things that we really don't need to do, but he did. And he put a little bit of improvements that maybe he's not going to get back, and him and the wife have had a conversation, and they went through several realtors, and it's out in Tellico Village.
Yes.
And we got a buyer that's absolutely out of state and is going to love that home and fits the needs of that floor plan.
Yes.
But we couldn't do it with great marketing, great teamwork, and thank him for all that he has done to work with us. And so we're excited for him. I know he is ready to get that off his plate.
I know. Move on. Get rid of that.
Yeah, 100%. It was good. So let's get into our show. Let's talk about that. A lot of congrats. Let's talk about foundation, basements, crawl space. For you guys that really don't get into that, what is that and the differences? And which one would you like me to go with, April?
Let's go with old slab.
The slab. You see a lot of them around here. And our slabs are, you see them, they're cheaper. It's a cheaper way to build a home, no question.
Yeah.
And
like about $10,000 cheaper.
Depending on the price range, you'll see the slabs, they're going to cost less. It's more efficient. You see that they're highly built around here on a slab. Our condos, the pros with that, there's not as many steps.
Right.
So that's why you see a lot of condos on a slab. So there's favorable for our senior community that is downsizing, coming to that really makes sense.
Exactly.
But
and
with
for the builders.
But with the slab though, I mean, there's a lot of pros and cons. We'll get into that, but I think you see a lot of that here. I'm a fan of a crawl space, always have been, and there's pros and cons to that as well. Of course, then there's a crawl space, right?
Right.
And then if other than the crawl space, then we've got a finished or unfinished basement.
Basement.
Right? Basement.
As your foundation.
And so those are the good types of foundations that you see, and what most homes that you have, each one has their own little
Ups and downs,
and what you can do, and it's all preference, right?
Exactly.
So let's talk about what we need to do if we're possible to put those homes on the market. If I've got a slab, let's talk about the slab for our audience.
Old slab foundation, your least favorite. So, like we said, it's cheaper, about $10,000 cheaper, give or take. And builders like it because they can throw a slab down, and then you can get more square footage instead of spending the extra $10,000 on a crawl space. or a basement, but that's each to their own. It takes less time to draw, and the construction can move faster without any delay. And then also, let's talk about one of the major things is slab foundations, and they minimize the risk of damage from flooding or any leakage of gas, like radon, that you would see caused from a basement.
Now you still have those opportunities, but it just limits that exposure.
Yes.
And I know house we purchased had a slab.
Yes.
Again, wasn't a fan, but it was one of those things that is what is in the product. We see a lot of that. So you always, we were talking the other day, we always got to have a wish list and pros, cons. I think you're always going to compromise on some things.
Yes.
You just can't have it all unless you custom build.
And then you can have whatever you want.
And there's a custom price tag.
Exactly.
So and so there's a lot of that is a budget, price, wish list, want list, and really working those items down. What is a must, and what's some things that I can still work with.
Right. Exactly.
The good news, if you're thinking of a slab and resale values, there is no issue with that here in East Tennessee because there's a large market that is a slab.
Exactly.
Now, if let's say you had a tract builder that came in and they're only building crawl spaces, and that was predominantly 70 or 80% crawl space, and then you've got a couple of slabs, then you may see a market shift for the foundation and a resale value with that, but we won't see that here.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's another one, is just minimizing the risk of damage from flooding. So that's a big thing that we're going to talk about with basements and with crawl spaces as far as water intrusion. And then also termites. You have a lower risk of getting termites because you don't have the boards underneath as you would in a crawl space to allow those termites to eat and chew on those boards.
Those darn termites.
Those termites, man. So that's another thing about a slab. But you do get bugs that they'll easily come through the walls.
Sure.
So that's another, advantage, disadvantage. You have to look at those things. So I think that's all for slabs right now, since we're
well, stay with us. We're talking this. We're coming on the other side of the break. We'll talk about crawl space. We'll talk about basement and things you guys need to do to prevent any kind of damage and maximize your home's value. You listen to Real Estate with Ryan. Stay with us.
I think Facebook just isn't. I don't know. I think I must have cut off. Can you maybe squeezy to your right a little bit?
You mean?
Yeah.
This way?
No, to your right. Okay, just a little bit, because we're kind of,
Is that better?
yeah. Yeah, it shows we're live on Facebook, just, I think it's the internet or something.
Thank you guys for watching us. If you're watching our live stream here, recording the show. That's what we do on a Monday. Rain, radio, appointments. Somebody asked how you do all this. We got 2 radio shows in town. We have a little one. We're a big firm. A bunch of employees. Giveaway tickets. Produce radio. Videos.
Produce radio.
A lot of clients. How you do it? It's committed, man. Committed. You gotta have your goals. Gotta be focused. Gotta be dialed in.
It's definitely the C word.
You gotta have a commitment, no question. You gotta have committed to what you're doing. You gotta be all in. She keeps me straight. Adam keeps me straight too. Thanks for staying with us, guys. We're talking about the crawl space, slabs, and basements on a foundation, what you need to know, whether you're going to put your home on the market, whether you're just needing it preventive maintenance. We're going to talk about foundations as this wet weather is upon us in the fall season. So we were talking about slabs and the inexpensive cost of them. So it's got the pros to that you can build a house for approximately $10,000 less. But there's some things that maybe with termites and things that April was talking about, that if you're lower to the ground, that you're more prone for termites and other things like that.
You're not prone for termites.
Oh, you're not?
But prone more for bugs. Like
Bugs.
spiders. Our house likes spiders.
Oh, we have those. That's why the
Oh,
spiders
the
are.
spiders.
Hey, that's why the spiders are coming in the back door.
Because we got a slab.
Ew. I don't like bugs.
Oh man, I've never seen so many spiders. It's insane.
I'd
So
call
our
it-
whole neighborhood talks about it.
Call the bug guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely need to call the bug guy. So, yeah, so termites, not that big of a deal, but spiders is. So,
One of the negative things is, on really, really bad weather, high water, bad storms, it kind of, the slab's going to give you minimum protection
right.
versus a crawl space is going to give you more advanced protection there.
Yes, that's another one. And then
oh.
also all of your pops and everything are underground. So
But
that's another
now
thing.
you mentioned something about flex piping and all that. We won't get into the details about that, but specifically now that they're making the slabs, the biggest thing is what happens if we have a break or we need to access it.
Right.
It could be very, very expensive to access the slab.
Yes, exactly.
But with the new flex plumbing and all these different things, hopefully we don't run into that. Technology has advanced so much
Exactly.
that these slabs are done all the time.
They are. So that's a big thing to watch out for. Also cracks.
Cracks. So you're going to have some settlement cracks with the slab. You want to monitor those, make sure that you're taking care of those. We've seen some where we've sold the property and you had like trees and earth and dirt coming through. So make sure you seal them and check them, and that's important.
Right. Do not plant trees close to your house.
On new construction, guys, that's why we always say get an inspection, make sure we're checking it prior. I know on our house that we built, there was some settlement cracks, and it was very, very important. Just a changing of the earth and the slab. It just happens, and making sure they're sealed and properly. There's no penetration for water and things like that. So then we talk about on crawl space. What is an opportunity? Let's go into our crawl space, the pros and cons of a crawl space.
All right.
So with a crawl space, all your plumbing, all your mechanicals are underneath. And so we have an opportunity, depending on your grade, that you can either, some crawl spaces are, you get in there, you can stand up.
Exactly.
And then some that you're sliding around on your belly.
No, thank you.
Our contractor that works with them, he always likes the ones where you can walk down there.
Oh yeah.
And he said something. I said, "Will you get in that crawl space?" And I said, "Would you check that one out that we're renovating?" And he goes, "Sure." And I said, "Did you look down there?" I said, "No." And he goes, "Well, you don't do spiders and snakes." I go, "No, no, we don't do the spiders and snakes."
I can't see you crawling around in a crawl space.
No, man. I'm sorry, guys. That's probably why nobody wants to go in the crawl space with the black widows and the spiders and snakes. So it takes a special talent to go in there.
Yes, it does. Suit up with a
hey guys, sometimes you got to delegate things.
Exactly.
It pays to have a good contractor.
No, it really does.
It does. Don't call me.
No.
Don't call Ryan.
Call Ryan to find out who the
I have
contractor is.
I have a good guy for you, and he is not afraid of spiders and
Yep.
snakes.
He says he does not kill
I
spiders.
promise, if we come over to list your home, if you think we're inspecting the crawl space, not gonna happen.
No.
No.
I was helping a buyer, just story time. I was helping a buyer, and crawl spaces are her big thing. So I opened the door for her, and she's an older lady. She didn't even care. She was all up in there looking. And I was like, "Oh, you have spider webs in your hair." She said, I'll get those out later. No big deal. I said, "You're better than me because I'll stand back and just let you look." Go right ahead.
Are we city folks?
I think we are, yeah, a little bit.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well,
But anyway,
who
so.
likes cobwebs in their hair?
I know, I don't. But she did
Maybe
not.
Adam does. I don't know. But he can handle it, but I can't. So with the crawl space, one thing that's a positive and 100% is that the floors are going to be warmer. You know, there's a subfloor down.
Right.
You got some give. You got some movement on the floors. There's a different walk when you have a subfloor.
Yes.
Now, that being said, if the framers kind of run through there and they don't screw it down, you may have the squeaks.
Yes.
You know, where the slabs are not going to have that. But it's a warmer floor. It's more of a firmer.
It's not sitting on the ground.
And so if, your joints are giving you problems or have knee problems, God forbid, this slab can be hard on your knees.
Yes.
So keep that in mind.
Definitely.
Now, the negative with the crawl space, and we see this all the time, and so we'll talk a little bit about it, and we've helped some clients with this, is we don't get in that crawl space. It's just a crawl space. There's, vapor barrier down. It's all taken care of. And almost every given time here in town,
Mhm.
we come up with some kind of mold or some kind of fungus. They call it fungus. They don't want to call
I
it
don't
mold,
want to call it
right?
mold, definitely not.
Well,
In
let
the
me tell you
crawl
about a
space.
little story that we had. We'll go story time. So we had a crawl space house that we sold in Farragut, and this guy was last year.
Yep.
I don't know who you're talking
Santas.
about. Santas. She's got excellent memory. That's why I keep her around. She keeps me straight. But the Santas, about this time, summer fell over, and their house had a crawl space.
Yes.
Sold it, got everything done. Get to the inspection, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
Battle out the home inspection, and guess what comes up? Oh, Mr. Mold.
The water.
Mr. Mold, Mr. Fungus. And so you gotta, always pays, you gotta have a great agent, because I'm telling you, there's this home inspection company, I won't mention any names, just so happen to have their mold recommendation guy that comes behind them on almost every property, and it seems like there's a $10,000 quote on every property. It just so happened that I sold another property in another area at the same time with the same kind of thing.
Same people.
Same people.
Yes.
So what does that tell you?
That touches
Mold is a big, big business that is not regulated by the state. There's a lot of contractors out there, and anytime the buyers see mold or think fungus or things like that, they really go into panic mode.
Freak 'em
It's like
out.
mold, can't buy the house.
Uh-huh.
It's falling down. And then the agents, if they're not skilled in it, they will basically come through and make the deal worse.
Yes.
We've lost a deal because the agent wasn't educating her client or knew about it or was uncomfortable and just totally freaked the clients out.
Yes. That can happen.
So, that being said, on your crawl space, get in there, get a contractor, get a handyman. If they go in there, get a video in it. Get your cell phone, see what you've got, check your joist. You know, we're looking for standing water.
Yes.
You know,
definitely.
we're looking for on our crawl space around our foundation block, make sure we don't have any water intrusion. That is so big. Pull back the plastic.
Yes.
Make sure that we don't have areas that are leading into issues. Because what is a small issue now will end up turning into be a real big, big issue.
Right, because this could have been a just small issue from a while ago, and then you just don't ever go down to the crawl space and look, and then it turns into a really big issue. So just do regular inspections or have somebody just go down and look at your crawl space. No big deal.
So with your crawl space, so important to check all those items, go through that with a fine-tooth comb. If there is any fungus, and it could be possible, right? Make sure that you have it treated properly
Yes,
and then have it inspected.
exactly.
Okay. We got into an issue where they treated it, and there will be like some residue on the wood that these guys went as far as trying to scrape the residue off the wood.
I know, it gets crazy.
I mean, it gets real crazy and really, really expensive.
Yes, it really
So check these items, guys. Even every couple of years, it's important to check on those in your crawl space, because it could be a simple solution. No air tests are needed in a crawl space. And I've got some good recommendations you ever want to contact me. We're putting a blog up about Foundations Crawl Space, so check that out on my website. Any comments that you have, go to ryancoleman.org. Any questions you need from us, that if you do have an issue in a crawl space, we'd be glad to help you
Ready
with
to help
that.
you,
And any
definitely.
recommendations. So
Now, one thing that leads to water intrusion that we can talk about is grading.
oh yeah.
That is pretty much a big issue that we see as the number one problem if you have water intrusion into your crawl space, is because your grading is not the correct grading.
So we met with some structural engineers on a property that we dealt with, and it was a basement property sold in South Knoxville, and that came up. And I mean, really, these are minor details, but the old saying, the devil's in the details. It is, the grading was not there. The water was actually pushing back on the foundation wall,
Yes,
which
causing it to crack.
small cracks, which intentionally over time could cause a foundation issue.
Exactly.
Simple grading it away from the property. Gutters, I can't tell you how much gutters, and making sure they're redirected out.
Yes.
Because a lot of times we don't think about gutters. They become an issue and they drain out. Real quickly, we get into our basement. A lot of opportunity for space, below grade space.
Definitely.
Ideally, if you have poured concrete walls, best way to have a basement done versus blocking if you can.
Yes, yes. And then they can kind of have the same issues with the water intrusion.
Yep, and all
That
those
much.
kind of things. We'll get more on this show. Thank you guys for listening to Real Estate with Ryan. It always comes sooner than we expect here on the show. We have so much fun here on News Talk 98.7. Every Saturday, 5 o'clock, Real Estate with Ryan, where we'll hopefully bring you the up-to-date information with the real estate market. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. If you ever need us, it's 693-SOLD, or visit us at ryancoleman.org. Have a great weekend, guys. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, that's our foundation and our basement show and our crawl space and our slab. So if you're catching this on replay or social media, thank you for following us. We've got a busy, busy week. New property coming on the market, hopefully, in Farragut.
Oh, yes.
10,000 square feet, big one. I don't know where these big homes come from, but got some opportunities for some buyers that hopefully we'll get to showcase that coming up later this evening. And
Exactly.
this week we'll talk more about that. A lot of closings this week. Market as a whole,
whatever.
That's why it's live, man. Ain't, you know, no retakes. But market as a whole, we're seeing busy. October was off the charts for us. We were
Yes.
slammed all the way through. We're on track for our goal. We did 4 or 5 over the weekend, which was really, really good. And I think we're going to be busy all the way right till December.
Yes.
We usually always are.
Yes.
So
The
don't
serious buyers are coming out. that we talked
don't
about.
hesitate on the market. If you took it off the market, we talked to somebody today that was thinking about that the other company pulled it off the market and wasn't sure to sell. Let us come out and talk to you. Just to get the property on a loan, we could even stagger showings out the first of the year.
Exactly.
We want to be seen. Biggest thing that's coming out now that most people aren't thinking about is it's holiday time. People are in town. They're on their tablets. April was, I think she was looking for a gift for me. I hope. For, you know, we're on the couch and she's like, well, you need your own laptop, and you know technology changes.
Because I thought, what gift is he talking about?
Yeah, so we're talking about a new laptop and your computer. So all you guys are going to have new gadgets and all these different things for Black Friday. That being said, what are you going to be doing on your gadgets? You could be looking for real estate. You're going to be looking for homes. And if you're not out there on these new toys, nobody knows you're for sale.
Yeah.
Probably can't sell. So we may be missing out on those buyers that are looking here the next 90 days that, yes, it may not close in December, but it's very, very, very possible
We still have an
that we get
opportunity.
activities and showings there. So don't lose out on that.
They either want to close right before Christmas or right after.
Or right
Christmas.
after. And so we have some people trying to get in that we just uncovered bridge.
Yes.
They want to
They're
get in
gonna
right before Christmas.
Yeah.
So
we still have some time.
you have time. Call us. Hope you guys enjoy the show as every week. Thank you guys for following us. Oh, big congrats to Rachel. I don't think we talked about that.
Yeah.
Tickets to the Vol game. Me and Adam were just chatting about that game. Did we go? No, we didn't.
We wanted to.
We're going to try to go this week as this is airing. But what an awesome game to go to. Seats looked awesome. And what a big win. So pretty excited about that. Well, we'll stop talking. Have a great week. And we'll see you.